Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am here to talk about the education system and the schools here in Mexico because I often get a lot of questions from parents who are moving to Mexico with their kids asking me how the education is here in Mexico, well, compared to India, and many such questions. So I thought I will answer them today in this video so that all your questions would be cleared. All right, so without wasting any time, let's get into the video. So the first question that you people often ask me is if Spanish is mandatory here in the schools. Yes, Spanish is mandatory here in schools, mainly because most of the schools here, private schools here, are bilingual, which means most of the subjects, like 80% of the subjects, are in Spanish, and remaining few subjects are in English. Even if they claim to be international schools, even if they have international students, most of the schools here are bilingual. You will hardly find one or two schools which are completely in English, and those schools are super expensive too. So please find out before joining any school about about these things, whether their subjects are in English or whether they are in bilingual. And you also have questions about the public schools here. Public schools in Mexico are mostly in Spanish. All the subjects are in Spanish. So most of the foreigners who come here, they try to put their kids in bilingual schools. The next question that you often ask me is about the syllabus. The syllabus that most of the schools follow here is called SAPE, S-E-P. I will give you the full form here. That's the syllabus that they follow here, and that's why I guess they need most of the kids to speak in Spanish or to know the language. And don't worry whether your kids would be able to learn the language, whether they would be able to manage in the school without Spanish. Don't worry about that, because most of the schools here, they give special classes for the foreign kids. They have extra classes after school for the foreign kids to study Spanish. And they are also very helpful. Most of the schools here and the teachers here are very cooperative, very kind, and very helpful towards the foreign kids. So don't worry if your kids will be able to cope up with the language. Will they be able to manage with the subjects? So don't worry about that. Spanish is very easy. I mean, not for adults like us, but it's very easy for kids to pick up, because when they start going to the school, their friends are speaking in that language and they hear this language everywhere, so they easily pick up this language. So don't worry about that. They will easily adapt to it. And I also get a lot of concerns from parents whose kids are in highest classes, asking me if it's worth moving to Mexico, whether their kids would be, it would be a drastic change for them from India to Mexico. So I understand your concern, especially if your kid is a teenager, or, if he or she is between the age 12 to 16. Definitely, it's very difficult for them to move to a new country, leaving their friends in India. So you need to think this with your family, because I'm not the one who can tell you whether it would be a good decision for you. You need to think over that, because, for example, if you're coming here for a short term, like 1 year or 2 years of project, then and your kid is in middle school or high school, then I think you can speak to your family, and if they are more comfortable in India, in Indian school, then maybe only you have to travel by leaving your wife and kids in India. According to me, that is a good decision if you don't want your kid to move, because sometimes it's a drastic change for the kids, and they might not easily adapt to a new school, new friends, especially during their teenage or pre-teenage. So that you need to decide with your family, with your daughter or son, and you need to think over it. I cannot really tell you if it's a good decision. But yes, as I said here, teachers and school is very cooperative, so don't worry about this language. But if you're coming here for a short term, it would definitely be a drastic change for them to come here, study for 2 years, and then again go back to India and cope up with the studies there. So that is something which you need to think about. But if you're thinking for a long term, then I feel yes, you should bring your family here, and slowly they will get adapted to the new school, new friends, and I'm sure they'll be happy here in Mexico school. And let me also give you the fee structure for the schools here, especially in schools here in Querétaro. I will give you the screenshot at the end of the video, so you will have an idea what is the cost going to be. Here, usually there is a process where you need to pay inscription for every year. It's an amount that you need to pay, before starting the school, and every year you need to pay that amount. And then you again have these monthly fees that you need to pay. So these are the two terms that you will hear, inscription and the monthly fee. So I'll give you a screenshot of a couple of schools here in Querétaro. The prices vary in different schools. It's not a standard price in all the schools. For example, in Mexico City, it might be different. In Guadalajara, it might be different, but it might not vary much. It might be like few pesos here and there. So you will have an idea what is the cost going to be. And let me also give you a few tips when you move to to Mexico. And let me give you some tips for your kids to, adapt to a new school. First thing that you need to make sure is that your kids are comfortable in the school. Keep checking with them, keep checking with the teacher if they're comfortable, because sometimes when the kids, here the kids are not used to foreign students or foreign kids sometimes, and they might bully Indian kids because of the color or because of the way we dress up or anything. It could be any reason, and they might be, or because of the food that they take to school, so they might be bullied sometimes by other kids, and your child might not express this to you. So it's good if you keep checking with your child if he or she is comfortable in the new school. And usually the younger kids, they get easily adapted, as I said, but for kids in middle school or high school, they might find it a little difficult to adjust to the new school, mainly because the kids in here, they must have already formed a group, and your kid is a new kid in that class, and he's trying to get into that group. So this group might not be really that comfortable with the new student, so your child might be left out from the group. So what you can do in order to make your kid comfortable with that group is you can start having some play dates. Like, for example, you can call the classmates of your kid to your house, or you can arrange a play date in McDonald's or any other common food joints, and you can just invite your kids' friends over there, and you can also invite their parents if you want, and you can interact and make your kid comfortable with the group. And another thing that you can keep in mind while sending lunchbox, as I mentioned earlier, is not to send Indian food which has strong smell, because of course we love our Indian food, biryani and many other food which has strong flavor. In India, it's very common for us to send rice or any other food in the lunchbox. But here, make sure that you don't send food with strong smell, because sometimes our kids get uncomfortable when they open the box, and when other kids get the smell, and they might make fun of it. So until your kid is comfortable taking Indian food, make sure you send something very light, like sandwich or pasta or something which he can he doesn't feel different from others. I'm not saying that don't send Indian food. If you're comfortable, if your kid is comfortable, go ahead, send Indian food. But until your kid gets comfortable with other kids, and he's confident or she's confident about the food that he carries, please be little easy with the food that you send for lunchbox. Another thing that I would like to mention is that schools here start very early. For example, some schools start at 7:50, some schools starts at 6:50. Like, for example, my kid is in high school, so her school starts at her classes start at 6:50, and for some kids it starts at 7:50. So yeah, kids school starts early here. So when you are looking for a house, try to look for a house which is closer to the school, so it would be easy for you to take and bring your kid back. And some schools don't have school buses here, so that you need to check, so that in case you don't have a car, or you're not planning to take a car, then you need to keep that in mind, or you need to check with the school if they have school buses to your area. I hope I have answered all your questions concerning about the school. In case you have any more questions, you can leave that in the comment box, and I would be glad to answer them. I hope this video was useful to you. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care. Bye.